I want to tell you something that took me a very long time to understand. Most communication problems are not actually about communication. They're about perception. They're about two people experiencing the exact same interaction completely differently. And once I realized that, I started seeing relationships, conflict, leadership, and even myself very differently. Because I used to walk away from difficult conversations thinking, how did that go so wrong? I genuinely believed I was being clear, helpful, thoughtful, direct. Meanwhile, the other person may have experienced me as intense, cold, controlling, or dismissive. And what fascinated me was this: both people could walk away from the same conversation feeling misunderstood. Think about that. One person feels unheard, the other feels unfairly judged. One person feels emotionally overwhelmed, the other feels frustrated that the conversation became emotional at all. And both people truly believe that they're right. That's one of the reasons learning this behavioral assessment tool impacted me so deeply, because it gave me language and a framework for patterns that I'd been experiencing my entire life, but never fully understood. It helped me realize that people are not all motivated by the same things. Some people prioritize results, others prioritize relationships. Some prioritize stability, others prioritize freedom. Some need emotional reassurance, others need logic and clarity. And when we don't understand those differences, we accidentally hurt each other. Not necessarily because people are bad, but because they're different. And before we continue, if you want to discover your own communication style, take my free 2-minute communication style quiz using the link in the description or the comments below. You'll discover your natural communication tendencies, strengths, and behavioral styles. I think one of the biggest mistakes that we make as human beings is assuming that everyone experiences communication that we do. We assume if someone cared, they would communicate the way that I communicate. But that's not true. Sometimes someone loves you deeply and still communicates in a way that completely clashes with your emotional needs. And I think many people spend years taking behavioral differences personally, especially in close relationships. One person becomes more direct under stress, the other becomes more emotional. One person needs space, the other needs reassurance. One person wants immediate solutions, the other wants to feel understood first. And without awareness, those differences can create so much pain. I've seen this happen constantly in relationships, on teams, in leadership, between parents and children, friendships, and especially in workplaces. And the sad part is, many people assume the other person is intentionally being difficult, when often they're simply reacting from their behavioral wiring. For example, let's talk about the high D personalities. D styles tend to be fast-paced, direct, results-oriented, and decisive. These are often the people who walk into a situation thinking, okay, what's the problem and how do we solve it? They naturally move towards action, progress, efficiency, momentum. And many high D personalities are incredibly capable under pressure. They make decisions quickly, they're comfortable taking charge. They often thrive in leadership, entrepreneurship, sales, athletics, or highly competitive environments. But emotionally, their communication style can sometimes feel overwhelming to other people, especially under stress. Because when pressure rises, D styles often become more direct, more intense, more task-focused. Meanwhile, someone more relationship-oriented may experience that as that they don't care how I feel, when in reality, the D may actually care very deeply. They're just wired to solve problems first. That distinction matters. Then you have high I personalities. I styles are often expressive, enthusiastic, relational, emotionally engaging, and optimistic. These are the people who naturally bring warmth and energy into environments. They tend to process externally, meaning they often think out loud. They connect through stories, emotion, humor, conversations, and shared experiences. People are often drawn to them because they make others feel seen and included. But under stress, high I personalities may avoid difficult conversations. They may become emotionally reactive, disorganized, distracted, or overwhelmed by structure and details. And sometimes more analytical or reserved personalities experience high I individuals as too emotional, too scattered, or not serious enough. Meanwhile, the I personality may simply be trying to create connection. Again, same interaction, completely different interpretation. Then there's the S style. S personalities are often calm, patient, steady, loyal, and deeply caring. They're usually the people quietly supporting everyone else. They value harmony, stability, trust, consistency, and emotional safety. Many high S personalities dislike conflict intensely. So instead of expressing frustration openly, they may stay quiet, withdraw, internalize stress, or prioritize keeping peace over speaking honestly. And over time, that can become emotionally exhausting because many S personalities spend years accommodating everyone else while quietly suppressing their own needs. People often see S personalities as easygoing, but what they don't always realize is that calm people often carry very deep emotions internally. And when S personalities finally do speak up after holding things in for a long time, people are often shocked by how hurt they actually were. Then you have the high C personalities. C styles tend to be analytical, thoughtful, logical, careful, and highly detail-oriented. These are often the people slowing things down long enough to think deeply. They value accuracy, competence, preparation, structure, and doing things correctly. High C personalities often notice things people miss: patterns, errors, risks, inconsistencies. And many C personalities genuinely express care through preparation and responsibility, but emotionally, they may sometimes appear reserved or overly analytical to others, especially in emotional conversations, because when stress rises, many C styles move toward logic, analysis, problem solving, and information gathering. Meanwhile, a more emotional personality may experience that as they're cold, they're detached, they don't care, when the truth may actually be the opposite. The C personality may care deeply, they simply process emotion differently. And this is the part I find so fascinating. Most people are not intentionally trying to hurt each other. They're often trying to communicate safety, care, leadership, support, or competence through completely different behavioral languages. And when those languages clash, misunderstandings happen. I think this is why self-awareness is so important, because once you understand your pace, your emotional needs, your communication style, your stress response, and how other people experience you, you become much more intentional. You begin adapting, listening, observing, understanding. And I think emotionally intelligent communication is less about learning what to say and more about learning how to understand people. That changes leadership, relationships, parenting, dating, team dynamics, everything. Because once you understand behavioral styles, something really beautiful starts happening. You judge people less harshly. Instead of asking, what's wrong with this person? You start asking, what might this person need right now in order to feel heard, respected, safe, or understood? That question changes conversations. It softens reactions. It creates empathy. It creates patience. And honestly, I think many people feel emotionally exhausted, not because they're surrounded by bad people, but because they're surrounded by people who communicate differently than they do. That realization can feel incredibly freeing, because maybe you're not too much, too sensitive, too intense, too analytical, too emotional, too quiet. Maybe your behavioral style simply developed differently. And once you understand your patterns, you gain the ability to intentionally grow beyond your defaults. That's the beauty of self-awareness, not labeling yourself, not boxing people in, understanding, growth, adaptation, compassion, both for others and for yourself. If this video resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Which behavioral style do you naturally understand best? And which one tends to challenge you emotionally? I always love hearing your insights and experiences. And if you'd like to learn more about your own everything DISC style, leadership tendencies, communication patterns, or stress responses, I offer official everything DISC assessments, one-on-one coaching, leadership development, communication coaching, and team workshops. Thank you so much for being here. And remember, the more deeply you understand people, the less personally you tend to take human behavior. And that awareness can transform relationships in ways most people never expect.